So this is about Soda, who is a dog, and Bonda, who looks like a cat but feels like a dog. And initially, Soda is kind of annoyed that Bonda is being dog-like rather than cat-like, and but they kind of journey together, and the book is about what happens. So I think the themes of identity and acceptance do emerge in the book, but I have to say that for me it started with the animality of it all. That's what I was fascinated by, and that's what I've tried to kind of work through, even in the illustrations, to this was actually, all of this is based on observation. I spent time observing cats and their movements and the shapes they make, and this is of course also, I must say, based on partly a real kind of story where I had seen a cat which was much more sort of dog-like and exhibiting what would be considered dog-like behavior, and that sort of it really gripped me at the time, but it didn't come to anything. And then later the story sort of just surfaced very, very slowly. I started drawing cats and dogs, and so in one sense, the animality of it and the body language, the gestures, even the relationship between each other, because I observe dogs and cats with each others in homes. So all of that really goes into it. But yes, I do think these themes emerge, but I'm not, I feel like stressing on animality and humanity and pitting them against each other is not something I would do at all. And because the more I think about it, I think the more relational these things are, and even the way we think of ourselves is very much has to do, we think of ourselves relationally, I think. So, yeah. So Soda came to me because the dog that I was observing was just so self-assured that I thought, he's just Soda, he's just so completely chill, and he's so kind of easy about himself. So Soda seemed like that was the right fit for that character. And Bonda, because the original cat who inspired the story was a Bonda cat who was still unbelievably flexible, unbelievably graceful, and capable of doing all sorts of things. And it was the first time that I remember seeing such a big cat who was always surprising me with all the things that he could do. So. So I have to say at the outset that I'm someone who thinks in pictures. Anything that I've ever written has always been inspired by a visual, and then led on from there. Often I don't even have a story for a very long time. It's always just an image that lingers in my head, and sometimes it becomes a story and sometimes it doesn't. So for me, it's quite an organic process, and I think my visual thinking informs my writing, and so I see them really as things that feed into each other. I think increasingly I find myself gravitating towards wordless books, or at least trying to do more of those, because I like the silence in them. I like that the pictures can just go straight to the reader, and there's no need for anything else. So I like that very much, where that I've never seen language as a barrier in my life, but when I look at how how a diverse audience can access a wordless books, and I've seen it so many different adults, children. I love that. I love that it can just go. There's something that a child said that I just absolutely love. He said, the pictures go straight to my brain. I love that. I think it just captures so beautifully what these formats can do. So I think that's something that I love, and it's quite challenging as well to sequence it, to understand how to work between frames. So yeah, I love that. Though having said that, I must also say that text for me always evokes visuals. So I think text is always connected to visual, whether it's accompanied by visuals or not. So I love writing and illustration. I can't imagine actually doing just one. So I've had some responses to the book from people who've read with their children or watched their children go through it. I had one parent who said, my child just loves saying soda and bonda. So just being able to say that. She is too small to read, but she just enjoys looking at the pictures and just saying soda and saying bonda. So it's a very simple book, and there are very few lines in it. So I think as a reading experience for very small children, it seems to be, from what I've gathered so far, something that children are independently just having fun with, and something that parents are sitting with their child and going through the book with their child. So I, if there are discussions that emerge at possibly a slightly older age, that's great. But I think it can be, I just like for the book to generate what it does at different ages, and I very much like the idea of um, just going with the book from, if you start reading it as a younger child, and you may, I notice this, older children sometimes going back to a very, very simple picture book, and then seeing something in there that they may not have noticed earlier. So I think, though I think each picture book is, we have age groups for them, I often do think that picture books do cut across these sort of limits, and hopefully this book can do that too.